All right, welcome back to part two. All right, Jim, let me explain to you what I think here. For those of you out there who read tarot cards and this and that and the other thing, you kind of understand how this works, okay? The end of the world doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world, okay?
Just the world as we know it.
Just the world as we know it. Such as like if you
the government may fail, God willing.
Right, but that's such as like if you pull out a death card in a tarot, it's not necessarily a bad thing. That means an end of times, but yet a new beginning.
Right.
Okay, so let's just say, figuratively speaking, let's look at how the times are right now. Look at our economy. Look at our government structure. It is crumbling at our feet.
Recession.
Okay? Exactly right. Well, you know what? It's pretty damn good timing. We're coming up on 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I think the snowball has started to roll, and it's only a matter of time before it gets so big it collapses. Okay? It is currently rolling. I think a prediction of 2012 is probably a very well thrown dart in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it is quite possible that these predictions are correct. Granted, I will also state that as much as I do believe in stuff like that, I'm very skeptical on people's seeing of the future or stuff like that. Yeah. I'm very skeptical. But there is a part of me that does believe in that. So I'm all for it, man. I think that something major could potentially happen, like you stated. Hey, you know what? Many people have predicted the end of the world before and been drastically wrong. I think it's pretty, it's hard to argue with multiple races and creeds around the globe who've never had contact with one another back at that time, and all their calendars are ending at the same point.
It's kind of freaky a little bit.
It is a little freaky. But you know what? Hey, if we're here, we'll find out.
You know? The only thing I want to say about it is I don't, per se, see the end of the world, the end of mankind as we know it. What I see happening is kind of like government failing.
Well, that's very similar to
maybe
what I
like
said.
A blackout, loss of technology, something along those lines, something drastic that's going to change or alter our lives.
What's funny is I might kind of go into this under our going green, okay? Because I am starting to pick up on little things that might be a very big change in humanity as we know it. And I think the whole, like I stated already, I think the whole 2012 prediction is not an end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it. Okay? Just like you're saying, it's a possible failure of government. It's a possible failure of religion. Let's be honest here, people. Christianity is the most powerful organization in the world, and their knees are starting to get weak. A lot of people are starting to convert to other forms of religion, and they're hurting. I mean, they are closing schools. They are closing churches. They're hurting. Yeah. Okay, and not that I'm not going to state on here whether I'm for or against that, but you know what? It's definitely a very good, like I said, it's a very well thrown dart in the dark to state that 2012 might be a very significant year. Keep in mind, there's also talks of one world government. You know, I mean, if one world government happens, 2012 might be a very good time for it. I mean, there's already, their talks are already in the air. I mean, they have to get people prepped for something like that. They have to get populations prepped for such major changes like that. This might be the prep. You know, you knock down all your banks, you knock down your governments. If you have a global, depression, it's a very good time to start a one world government to fix such a problem. So I'm for 2012. I think something is going to happen.
Something.
What? Who the hell knows? But something might happen.
Nobody knows.
What else you got for me, John?
All right. Well, this is Kev, where I'm breaking out the fucking card.
Breaking out the card.
I am breaking out the card on this one, Kev.
It's yours now for something.
It's yours now. I'm talking about drivers. I'm talking about in the passing lane. How come people in PA and New York don't seem to know slow traffic to the right, pass on the left? Is that a hard concept or something? Since I've moved to PA, I want to kill somebody. You talk about road rage, it's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time, Kev.
Well, I mean, now granted, I understand what you're saying. Okay, and you're going to have a larger beef about this than I would.
Well, I commute every day.
You're a driver.
An hour each way, and I drive all fucking day.
Okay, you're
a tractor-trailer driver.
Right, you are a truck driver. So you get to see this a lot more than I do. Granted, we both leave for work at different hours of the day, and we both hit different forms of traffic. I haven't really encountered this all too much. I do know what you're saying, okay? I have encountered it. I'm not saying it's completely null and void of my life. I have encountered it, but I don't see it as much as you do, evidently. I mean, to get such a
PA, especially like right by the gap there, you know, these people, they just get in the left lane and they drive like 50 miles an hour on Route 80. Yeah.
Well, also keep in mind, I will argue a little bit to keep in mind, if you're on the Jersey side in the gap, it is a 50-mile-an-hour zone.
I'm talking PA side.
PA side is a 50-mile-an-hour zone.
Nobody does
50. Nobody does 50, but I have to. I have to play.
You know what? The good
advocate.
Samaritans can move over to the right fucking lane.
Hey! In a good debate, somebody has to play the devil's advocate.
All right,
you are in a 50-mile-an-hour zone and complaining that people are going 50 miles an hour.
Bob and weave. That's what it comes down to.
Bob and weave.
I got Bob and weave, Kev. All right, and another thing, okay? When it comes to yours now, bitch, anybody who drives a Lexus, a BMW, an Audi, or a Mercedes, kiss my ass, you suck. Just because you're in a nice, fancy, expensive car doesn't mean the world caters to you, doesn't mean you can do whatever the hell you want with it, any kind of courtesy on the road to anybody.
Amen.
All right, it's not a free pass to do whatever the hell you want on the road because you got some fancy car.
It's yours now.
All right.
What else you got for me, my brethren?
Now, we're about to go into music and movies, Kev.
Jim, I'm scared. I'm scared. For this part, we only have about 5 minutes.
Well, this is going to continue on to the next part. I'll tell you that right now.